Good people, what's up? What's good? You guys are listening to your favorite podcast, Connecting the Dots. It's your boy Caleb Smith.
It is Kimmy Coco.
And Ken, we're back another week. How was your week so far? You good to be here?
Yeah.
We here though. We here. And there's been some crazy stuff that was happening on the news.
Yeah. So it looks like the impeachment hearings are gonna go forward.
Is it for real this time though?
Yeah.
All
for
right.
sure.
Do you think that this could actually go through though?
Yeah.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You promise?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll see. Because Trump, if he survives this,
It's not gonna be our fault.
he can't be stopped.
If it does go through, then we're in some big trouble.
Yeah. And if this does happen, so that means that Pence would, by default, become president.
Not necessarily,
because I heard he's been throwing him under the bus.
Because of the situation and the accusations, he may be implicated in some of this stuff too.
Right.
As well as Bill Barr. So,
Right.
We will see, but it would go to him if it wasn't for that. It would go to him, and then the head of it would be Nancy Pelosi after him. But
Nancy, is she part of the Democratic Party?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so she's part of the Democrat Party. So then she could become president?
She's the speaker of the House. So
Wow.
After, if they were to both,
Yeah. So
if
she
that were to
left.
be the case, the next person in line would be her.
That would be a dope way of being the first female president.
Right. Yeah.
Doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And how long do you think that this process it could take?
Forever.
For real?
Well, they've already said that they have gotten to the whistleblower, and he agreed to come and testify. So that should speed up the process.
Okay. Wow. So somebody has courage to actually. Let's see if he makes it to the stand. We'll see.
Somebody had the audacity to actually say something, and they're willing to come up and, all power to them.
Yeah, it's big facts. We'll see.
In that case, I wonder if you think people are going to be like, he's a snitch, or do you think that people are going to be happy?
To me, that's him, fulfilling his obligation of doing what's right.
Exactly.
Because I think that we put this broad thing on snitching, but I think that there's a difference from snitching and telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, if he had something to do with it, and if he was Trump's right-hand man and he told him that he was down for the count, then that's different. But if he was behind the scenes and was already expressing how he wasn't feeling it, then I don't think it's snitching at all. But this is about to be very, very interesting. If he gets impeached, I know there's going to be a lot of people going crazy and that will be mad about this.
Mad for what? People do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think that people will be mad. If you're mad, you're going to have to be mad at yourself, because either you voted for him or in some way you participated in the environment that got him elected,
That's
right?
Facts. That's true.
I always say the president represents the values of the people.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to do some reflection on ourselves and in our personal lives, because we contributed to this narcissistic, greedy administration.
Yeah. It's wild.
In one way or another, right?
Yeah. It's wild. So we'll see what happens. But I was kind of in shock when I saw it. I was like, wow, so people are actually trying to make this happen. So
they really had no choice, because once the whistleblower came out, it was like, okay, we have to do something now. I'm wondering what is different between this and what they accused him of doing to get elected in the first place, which it's the same shit, right?
Right.
He asked a foreign government to help him find out some information about something that was going on here.
What's it called? Days of Our Lives.
Soap opera.
This is what I'm saying. Every time people tell me about what show they're watching or whatever, and they're like, "You don't watch that?" I'm like, "No, but you
invested in the what is it? The president show, whatever.
To me, it's like The Sopranos.
It is.
And to me, it seems like Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump never really got into the mob like they wanted to, because back in the day in New York, that was like the people to be around, the mob and the mafia or whatever.
Yep.
And it's like they never got a chance to hang out with them, so they politically are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so people that think that's cool, even though, I think about Bush, for example, and his ties to the Middle Eastern government and the Middle Eastern.
Osama bin Laden.
I don't know what the difference is besides the fact that Trump came out and was open with it, and
what?
But he's doing it blatantly. And so when somebody does, and I always compare it to, because we just got finished talking about this. It seems like people are more drawn to messiness and ratchetness and relationships and who's cheating and who's fucking. So I compare it to.
People are drawn to entertainment. Like
that's all what it comes down to.
In America, we're drawn to entertainment. Like
that's right.
We're drawn to good stories. That's why we like TV shows. People binge watch. This reminds me of a TV show.
Yeah.
Just like
we're not just drawn to regular entertainment, right?
But listen, this reminds me. Let's take Power for example. How we so invested in that. Like people really hate Tariq.
Yeah.
Just
even when they see the real person.
Remind me of like people really
in life.
Hate Donald Trump. Like even though he's the president, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a reality TV show.
That's right.
Because a lot of this stuff that people mad about Trump, like mad at Trump for, has nothing to do with like him being a president. It's more of his opinions and what he's saying and stuff like that. It's nothing that a lot of the stuff. I'm not gonna say all of it, but it's more like personal stuff they mad at Trump for than his policies in a sense.
Right.
They mad because he's tweeting certain stuff.
Yeah.
Why do we care that he's going back and forth with the NFL? Like that has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
Why are we even invested in that?
He's
That's
a genius.
It's a reality TV show. Like it's even steering us from other stuff.
Yeah.
Why are we worried about him going back and forth arguing with people? What is that doing for our country? That's personal. That has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I
like,
think that some people.
He knows how to stay relevant.
Some worried about him. I mean, I understand that's a part of his character. He represents the country. And
Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Point, but we put too much energy into that.
Yeah.
Because the more we talk about it, the bigger it's getting.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna get to other countries or out to the world. Like,
that's real. Yeah.
What we give attention to is what grows.
That's right. What you thinking, Kim?
I'm thinking that is very, very true if you look at it from that perspective. And if you have the freedom to enjoy a life where you can look at it from that perspective, like you guys would, because you're young, right? You have time to like not even care about like.
Kim said I ain't got time.
I don't have time because I'm thinking.
I don't care that he's arguing with NFL players.
Okay, so for the NFL thing, I took that part as.
I don't care that he's going back and forth with people. Like I don't care. I really don't.
But I think that the reason why people care, and it's not like they care about what he's tweeting, he's tweeting, right? I think that just speaks to his personality and his ability to make decisions. Because in the past, we've only been able to base our decision on elected leaders from their actions. You know what I mean? Like from their personality or from things that we can gather. I mean, we don't know these people, right? So you take what you learn about these people from, for example, most presidents are always married, or they have a dog, or they have kids, or they have, something that shows that their mental stability or that their morality is, they're not going to make decisions based on, and that's the whole thing about politics, right? Like either the facade or finding out that person really ain't who they say they are, or they lie, or they have ulterior motives. It's because they've done something that shows us who they are, right? So he's constantly doing that. So what is that saying about him? So people are just now waking up.
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Your character, like we don't know these people, so we are going going off what they show us. But okay, now we know who Donald Trump is.
And
why not focus on who we gonna get in there next? Why are we still focusing on this clown?
Well,
like,
you mean when you say
him this attention, like
Takashi of politics, pretty much. That's what he's like. Yeah.
So
we
gonna
know,
keep trolling.
We know it's like he's doing stuff to rile us up. Why are we still getting riled up from the first 2 years? Oh, I understand it. Now, like
you already know what to expect.
Why are we still getting riled up when we know he's trolling us?
Yeah.
First off, I don't even believe he's tweeting that.
I think the same thing.
Honestly.
I think the
He's
same
probably
thing.
saying some wild stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a younger person putting a spin on all that. Secondly,
no, that's his ass.
I don't think so.
That's how
he probably got a social media
just like
team.
you say, he's 80 years old. He's not tweeting like that.
I mean, as the president, he can't tweet without his team looking at it. In the first
Right.
That's
right.
not.
So
why are you saying that?
He's not.
They cannot. This is
Beyonce should even run her Instagram. Yeah, Beyonce.
Okay, guys. Remember when he first
president.
started tweeting and people were saying what Sid said, and they were
He
like,
said,
"Somebody
"No, I'm
take
the
his
one tweeting some
phone."
shit.
No, the people in his administration, in his cabinet, and the people that were around him were saying we've tried to reel him in from these tweets.
Kim,
And
you know how PR work?
okay, so he's not doing it. He's not tweeting
I'm
it.
not saying he made tweets,
Some,
but I'm
yeah,
just
he
But
said
whether
tweet
he's
some.
doing it or not, what is that?
he's still doing it. I'm saying I forgot my train of thought. But
No.
he still
You're
has to go
saying
through
that,
approval.
you know, why are we getting all emotional
Yeah, I'm
about
saying,
that
okay,
stuff?
the first 2 years, like, why not shift our energy? That's basically what I'm saying. Let's shift
Yeah.
our energy to where we know we want, like, we letting this, like, we still getting riled up over stuff we know. We expect this.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It's
Yeah.
funny to me, like,
Yeah.
he's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But we expect this now, like, we at a point as people feel like he's still gonna be the next president. And we got 19 candidates on this side. Like, how do we have 19 candidates and we worried about some tweets or him going back and forth arguing? And
Right.
I just feel like people they
Should focus.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you is that in regards to the impeachment, or why was that even brought up? You think that we should ignore his tweets and look forward, right? But I'm just saying.
No, I forgot the whole.
Yeah. So
We
as
was
far
talking
as
about the impeachment.
yeah.
Process. Yeah.
I forgot how we got here. But
No, you were
That's
just
a good
saying,
point, though.
you know, basically, why do we even care? What, you know, we getting caught up in the trivial things like tweets and him
Right.
arguing with people and, you know, stuff like that.
And I mean, and I always say, like, I don't know personally. I haven't researched it how long the impeachment process takes.
That's what I
But we
asked
know
Kim too.
Next
Yeah.
year is the election.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
Why-
like,
why
is
go
it really
through this?
necessary?
Why
Yeah.
go
Well,
through this?
I say go through it
For the
because
principal, like for the principal, like just the
for the
same-
principal, because that's what your job is. So just because, you know, you're at the club and somebody is fighting and security guard thinks that you deserve to get beat up, that you shouldn't
I'ma
stop
just
the
leave him
fight.
alone.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
but listen.
That's what your job is. Your job is to stop fights. Your
So
job.
are you supposed to stop it when it starts, or are you supposed to just let the fight happen?
And
then
that's
stop
what
it?
my point was. Like, what about this is different than what you found out in the Mueller report? This is just a
It's the
9-page report about this incident that went on when you have a 400-page report about how he got elected in the first place. So what is the difference? Is it just down that people are paying attention because it's undeniable because he did an interview and he said, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I said I want him to help me find out something about Joe Biden. And what? Y'all should want to know what's going on with Joe Biden too. Like now I'm admitting it, and so I have to do something about it. Like, oh, I'm stealing out of Kmart. And Caleb is my brother, so he's not going to say anything. But now that the manager saw me on camera stealing from Kmart
Everybody going down.
and going to give Caleb a hug when I
Right.
left,
Yeah.
now the manager has to say something.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're doing now. Congress is like, okay, we sat on this for long enough. Now it's like we have to because that's what our duty is.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, go through the process. Go through whatever you have to go through because he's put everybody. And then too with the thing about, oh, wait till the election. Well, we know from the Mueller report that he wants to fuck those up too because, you know, the voting machines, the stealing, the rigging, and all that stuff. Like, we can't even really depend on that to get him out. They stole 2 voting machines from Atlanta a couple of weekends ago when they were voting on the Fulton County.
What you feel like? And I probably want to answer. What do y'all feel like his I guess ultimate goal is?
His ultimate goal is to have Trump towers in Russia and in Ukraine
Yeah.
and wherever
It's
else
just
he
a
can
business
do.
decision.
It's
That's what I was
it's
thinking, like,
real
yeah.
estate.
Yeah.
It's real estate. At this point now, it's him
working.
trying to stay out of jail because some of the things that he's done are criminal.
And beyond
and
that,
he wants
yeah.
to be the one that got away with doing what he's doing.
It's Teflon Don image. And two,
Right.
I don't think what people understand is there's a possibility that he probably didn't want to really become president. He just became president. He probably
I mean,
just ran
it's not
to
even
control.
we
He
can.
said that.
Right,
He
right.
said that himself.
We can't even say, what do we think what do you think he's trying to do? Why would he go through these lengths? And because it's in the report.
It's business. Yeah, that's what people don't get.
The players
Yeah.
of the game are
It's
named.
business.
It
There are
really don't
people
have
in
nothing to
jail
do-
right
it don't
now.
have
It
nothing
doesn't.
to do with the
They don't
president.
deal with no politics.
It's yeah, it is.
It's business because I didn't even know this. It was a report. I got to find the link to the story, but they were saying that he wanted to have his Trump towers in Russia for 20 plus years now. So now that this window opened up through him becoming president, this is another business decision for him. They said Trump Towers is doing amazing right now because of his name, his brand, controversy. So I just think it was all about business from day one. And he just so happened to become president. But even off of him running for president, Make America Great Again merch, that was doing amazing. So I just think it was all about business.
And
now,
then even like Mitch McConnell and of Kentucky, and you know he's got people helping him out. But look what happened here. There was a Russian who was sanctioned by the U.S. who invested $200 million in Kentucky.
it's weird stuff. Like, you see what I'm saying?
I mean, that's not weird. It's obvious.
Oh, of course, but
weird. Like why? Would, like that's
Russians in Kentucky? Like, why Kentucky out of? You know what I mean?
Mitch
Out of all
McConnell
states?
is helping Trump.
Right.
Get these things done. He's
Right.
helping them so he's not being
That's
held accountable.
crazy, man.
And the Russians are rewarding them.
That's
so that
crazy.
Mitch McConnell can go say, hey, I got this $200 million deal and this mill built in Kentucky.
How random is that?
And we are, now you need to vote for me because I'm getting y'all jobs. Like
money.
the Russians,
But you don't know where those jobs are coming from.
they don't know.
Isn't that crazy? And then these are the same people that's telling you, look out for the Russians, or America tells you who your enemy is, yet working with the enemy behind closed doors.
So when Obama was president and when Russia invaded Ukraine,
Mm-hmm. They're Putin, yeah.
Obama was like, yo, we got to put sanctions on the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, like, we can't have this go on. And so Russians were like, oh, okay, we'll just wait. They didn't necessarily care who it was, but they saw an opportunity with Trump to get in with him. Oh, you want to do a business with us? Oh, you want to build the Trump Tower? Come
Right.
over here, let's talk. And so
Right.
him and his people have been dealing with the Russians by any means necessary. They found out about that internet, that web bank, and how they try to put stuff out there. Remember Blacktivist?
Wow.
Remember that whole thing? We talked
Yeah.
about that before in a previous episode, how the Russians were pretending to be black activists,
Yep.
and they were riling you up
They tell you
with
to
all
show
these
up at
black
these
lives.
events.
Show up at these
You
events.
come militant, ready to go, and the cops ready for you.
And
Yeah.
just they have your information every time you hashtag Black Lives Matter, or they're putting you in the bank so they can
Right.
make sure that they push out stuff for you to see that's going to invoke
Oh, and
emotion
Kim,
out
what
of
was
you.
the documentary on Netflix? I saw it. I've got the name of it. The Great Hat. They were saying
Yeah.
how politicians were going, American politicians were going to Russia, Cambridge Analytica. They were giving them numbers in Russia. So the Russians, Americans, everybody was working all in one. And they were saying how the Russians, they were help getting people elected in Trinidad, in third world countries.
Yeah, it's not
in
just
Europe.
us. And I mean,
it's a global thing.
it's a global thing. And look
Yep.
at the president of the Ukraine, that the latest person that got, that they said he was dealing with. He's a freaking comedian.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, so, and guess what? The Ukraine, we don't even know if they really can pull through with this Joe Biden thing, because the Russians are the ones that do shit like that, right? So the Russians are like, hey, not us. Maybe it's the Ukrainians.
See,
and Trump is so
everybody's in
stupid,
bed.
like, he's just like, oh, well, Ukraine. And this is what the latest allegation is, that he said to them, and this is on the phone call that was released last week. The phone call, he said, hey, if you could find something out about Hunter Biden, let me know. So that's his strategy. That's his strategy to win
Dirt.
elections. He digs up dirt from
Hillary
out of the
Clinton.
country.
That's what he did with Hillary
And
as well.
yeah.
Yep.
And so they dig up dirt. Hunter Biden used to
it.
work for a Ukrainian company or
It's not a
something
good
like
look.
that. He was on the board of a Ukrainian company. But Obama knew, and Obama was like, okay, there's no problem with that. I didn't see anything unethical about it.
Right.
But Trump is trying to find out some dirt.
Joe Biden taking so many L's, man.
Joe Biden,
What
first,
did you last week do?
he's still number one.
We did it.
You know what's crazy? Remember I always say about my dad?
Yeah,
Cutting Biden hair?
yeah.
I asked him. I told him I'd be talking about him every week.
Wow.
Like, I'll be assuming that you're going to vote for Biden. And when I asked him, I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah. I was like, why? Because he came here and let you get a haircut. Yeah, he kind of leaned towards it. He was like, da-da. And I told him, like, man, nah, we got to research. He was like, nah, yeah. I
Right.
got to do my research. But he was leaning towards you just because off the love, you feel me?
And see,
After all that, even after Corn Pop and all that, he is still
Corn
has
Pop, man.
he still has the number one in all the
because
polls among
people
Democrats.
don't understand, as a politician, it's so easy. Like, if I show up to a black barbershop and if I just chop it up with y'all, I ain't got to talk about my policies, nothing. Especially as an older white man. It's like, oh, he cool. And then already right there, I already got your vote. Or if I just show up to your school, shake your hand, take selfies, say some cool lingo, say it's lit.
A 30-minute process, you feel me?
Simple. Black people, we so easy.
I see it all the time,
We
even
are so
amongst
easy,
ourselves
man.
in hip hop culture.
Yeah.
Me and my friends, we go to the hip hop we go to the hip hop concerts. We support all the artists from like, the old school artists that we listen to. We buy all their stuff. We get on the internet. We promote them. Let one white girl do it. Oh my God! Retweet.
Blows up.
She has on a Run DMC
She's
shirt.
speaking facts.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, she's dope.
We too accepting.
Wow.
But to the politics
too accepting.
defense in this,
Yeah.
like we do that with anybody that's a celebrity in a sense. Because say if I meet Ti.
Yeah, and if you
T.I.
show up,
cool.
right,
It's like,
right.
So now you're on his side.
That's real.
Like, I fuck
That's
with
real.
He cool. Like, I met him. He wasn't stuck up. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But
Yeah,
when it comes to politics, you gotta. It's a little
Because
deeper.
those people are actually
gotta discern,
gotta
man.
and this is when we talk about on our meeting.
On Thursday, yeah.
This is
discernment.
what I think everybody to do. When you get up in the morning, before your legs hit the floor, pray to God for discernment. Because in this day and age, there are so many things out here to trick you. Some things don't lie though, and some universal laws don't. Well, no universal law is ever broken, right?
Right.
Y'all didn't believe Trump. Y'all didn't believe Hillary. Y'all didn't believe what was going on. It's coming back again to show you this is what he does. Y'all don't believe in global warming. Y'all don't believe this, all
Right.
this stuff is going on with the climate.
Right.
Every year, a bigger and bigger hurricane, more often, more floods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't believe that the police need to be held accountable, which is lead me to our next topic for
Yeah.
what they're doing. It comes around, and then
Yeah.
it's your kid or it's your
That's
nephew. It's your,
That's right.
So I understand Jay Black, and I understand when like millennials say stuff like this, like, oh, but when it gets time for you to start thinking about retirement, and when you start thinking about like Social Security, or when you start thinking about like laws, taxes, things that you're gonna have to rely on heavily,
Now, let me ask you this: while you on that, do you feel like Social Security and retirement is an old way of thinking? Because that's not really.
No, I don't think
it's not really going to be relevant for. That's not going.
it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be relevant for us because we might not
That's
even
what I'm
have
saying.
it.
So why are we still?
But-
we have
Worried
to
about
move
it.
with the time. We still in old thinking.
So we gotta find a different way.
Okay, so that even if
that
that's the way you feel, if that's the way you feel, then you need to think about somebody that feels like that. Like you guys always say, Bernie, right? So going forward, if you don't want to have to think about. When I say think about it, I'm not saying thinking about it like that we might have to depend
No,
on it.
you
I'm
gotta
just saying
just
think
think
about
about
it like
what's gonna affect
consider
us.
it. Yeah.
That's why I say it, and that's why I
Yeah.
always say like when you're voting, it's a selfish thing. You voting for people that you feel is going to benefit you.
That's correct.
I
Yeah.
feel like Bernie is, from what he's saying, he's going to benefit me, and from the other people, the other candidates, they feel like the healthcare thing is good too. They just trying to get their point across. But if this man that wrote this healthcare bill or whatever, and everybody agrees with it, like I just feel like he has the
He has the best policy that will affect the
campaigns.
most people.
yeah,
His policy will be beneficial for
It's not just one
the
group.
most people.
That's true.
And as far as Joe Biden goes, his thing is more old school.
he want to
Yeah.
bring back Obamacare.
More traditional.
He want to do the
All about a
Obamacare.
book. Yeah.
He want to bring that back.
And see, I didn't even think about that point that Jay Black brought up, and same for you, Kim, about 401ks now, Social Security, taxes, all that stuff. Because it's like nowadays when we see companies like Amazon, they don't even want to give you that.
And who is staying at a job for 20,
30
30 years?
30
man?
years,
Nobody's
man.
doing it.
Because like our parents' generation, grandparents, like my grandparents, man, they worked at Wrigley's gum factory for like 40 years, man.
Nobody's doing it.
But see, for them, that was amazing because they used to be sharecroppers. So it's like if you could work at a factory, you indoors.
You doing it anyway.
I made it.
Yeah.
And then our parents' generation were the first in like Kim's group to be in corporate America inside of an office. So they felt like they made it until they realized like, bro, this some
They
BS.
could fire it. Remember
Right.
started
They could fire me whenever they
started
feel like
having
firing me.
layoffs like
right,
crazy.
Right. Right.
Then too,
It's starting to
even
change.
for you as a young entrepreneur,
Yeah.
you're expected to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Like
I understand
you're
that, but
expected to.
I'm not paying into no 401k.
I feel what you're saying.
But you
Jay Black, like, I'm not
can.
trying to break off a piece of money.
No, I'm not.
towards
It's
that.
not even that. But
Even with
I
your
feel like
savings, even no matter what,
it's
like
at
even in
point
a
now,
bank, the interest rates,
Yeah,
like
they still want something.
I think we're at a point where we're definitely more empowered, and we just really have to control that. Like, you
Yeah.
really got to put your own savings away for those different things, for retirement. Especially
So-
with what I'm doing,
Entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So
like-
we shouldn't worry about the government taking care of us. Pretty much is what.
no,
you're saying.
absolutely not.
Right.
You
I don't
shouldn't,
feel
and you
like-
should
Right.
not.
I don't feel like
You shouldn't
Yeah,
worry
that's not
about,
safe to me either.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
worry about the government taking care of you, but you should not have to worry about the government trying to take you down either.
At the same time,
You know what
right?
I'm
I
saying?
see what you're saying. You
That's
shouldn't
what
have
I'm
to worry
saying,
about them
like,
trying to hurt you.
I don't care. Leave me
Yeah.
alone. I'll leave you alone.
I
You know,
mean,
I
but you
I'm
can't even
gonna.
say- I can't even say that they trying to take us down. Like,
They could. I'm not saying they
listen,
are
we
now.
asking them to be responsible. How many people in America? What's the
Millions.
population?
Millions, probably around
Hundreds-
200
hundreds
million,
of millions.
220
We
million.
asking a government of what, 500 people? Let's say 500 people to worry about a billion people.
Hey, that's just how it's set up, though.
I
When it starts from local,
just
Senate,
the
all the
numbers
way
wise,
through.
you can't fault them. Like, the numbers is just
Well,
crazy.
I
Like,
think though where we can fault them is where we can see big businesses like manipulating politics. Like, it's black and white when we see Amazon not having to pay taxes,
That's
but then
really-
when we find out that they have lobbyist groups, all that stuff who
that's
affects the
knowing
laws, huh?
You know the laws, you can move.
But here's the thing: is if you have money, then you can affect the laws. Because when you have money, you control lobbyism.
Money makes a difference.
It makes a
but
big difference.
When you
Right
know the
now-
laws, you figure out loopholes.
Oh, of
And then
course,
you
of
make-
course.
when you get to
So
the-
money and the laws, both of it goes hand in
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
Both of it goes hand in hand. It's just that right now we can see that the top 1%, that they're always going to be fine. It doesn't matter who's president, what the policies are. And with us, like everyday people, it's completely different. So I think that money plays a big role in that. Money always talks.
So, after the Trump announced that, after they announced that they were going to explore or, look into impeaching Trump, the NRA stepped up and was like, "We're behind you."
Wow.
So they're gonna be more. You kind of have to be.
And they
careful.
got money. You feel what I'm saying?
You have to be
NRA,
careful and
yeah.
you have to be aware.
Yeah.
Not that what we say is gonna make you change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to let you know what's going on out there so you can have discernment.
Right.
You know this guy's about to get impeached or could be possibly be impeached and he could possibly go to jail. So it's going to ramp up the tweets now. He's going to start saying shit. Like, just be aware. Just
Right.
know what's going on, because when you don't have discernment, you take things for what they are, what you see. Like the people at the Fox News crowd,
And you
right?
think every story is true?
You
when
think
first hear it?
everything because they're
Yeah,
right. Because
yeah.
you're not going to look any further than that. But you have to use your discernment.
Right, right. And two, I mean, right now, you know when something doesn't sound right. You just know. And I think when it comes to articles, even if it's from CNN, you still need to fact check it. Because we don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying sometimes. So,
So you just, read up and use your discernment. So that leads us to, speaking of the government and speaking of all that stuff, this last week there was a hearing. Did you guys see the post? You guys have to make sure you go to our website and check out Caleb's
you said our
articles.
website. I didn't even think about that. I forgot. You said we have a website. We said website. I got to get used to that. We have a website
You
now.
built it.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. Like, we actually have a website.
We have a website,
That's crazy.
CTD-ATL.com.
That's wild.
And Caleb has some really great articles on there, so
Thank
you can
you.
go there and you can check them out.
Yeah.
Last week there was a hearing, the people are saying that it was anti-police, but it really was not anti-police. And every time police are asked to be held accountable, do not think that it's anti-police, because there's no one that's above the law, especially police or the president, okay? So the House Judiciary Committee called a hearing to address a series of deaths of unarmed African-American men while in police custody,
Right.
and the mistrust between police and the marginalized communities. So that, to me, was something that needs to be addressed.
Yep.
I mean, whether you believe it or not, it's a thing. Whether you believe it's a thing or not, you still have to have
Address
some
it.
oversight.
Yeah. Yep.
The police can't just run around here doing what they want to do without any consequence. Can we all agree on that? Because when you get to be in a position of power like that, you can take advantage of it. And you need to be held accountable.
That's right.
So, in the hierarchy of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
The police her head by the mayor, right?
Yep.
And the mayor over her is the governor, the state senators,
Right.
and the people like that. And those are the people who are at these hearings.
Right.
And so they want to know what's going on. What's your side of the story? What's your side of the story? So who they have come? They had Al Sharpton came, and Gwen Carr, who's Eric Garner's mother, was there. And they gave some stats, and they talked about it. And guess who else was there the next day?
CP. Miss Candace Park. Or
Her name's
Candace
Owens.
Yeah, whatever her name is. I was thinking about a basketball player.
And
Candace
she
Parker.
said that it's not true, it's
Yeah.
not bad, and African Americans have way more issues that they need to address besides police brutality. That's not even on 1 through 10 on her list of things that
Crazy.
needs to be addressed.
Yep.
And that same weekend, police shot somebody.
Kim, just being real, before I even say this point, I saw a clip on Twitter where it was a white woman who was saying that police brutality has no effect on black people, yada, yada, yada. And the black man that was sitting beside her just stared at her like, I know she did not just say that.
That was at that hearing.
It was.
That was one of the witnesses that they
Yeah.
called at the hearing.
What,
And
do we know, or what's on her list of top 10 things? Top 10. things, did she say?
fatherless homes.
Yeah. Black on black crime, of course.
Illiteracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, black on black.
That's the typical one. Which, to me, again, there's no really such thing as that because it's all about proximity. If black people are around black people because of money, then of course when they commit a crime, it's going to be towards another black person. It's not like black people driving a buckhead to commit crimes. So I feel like black on black crime is dumb because we don't talk about white on white crime.
I'm about to say it's white on white crime. It's just
Yeah.
not it's just not out there. But
Which is crazy that black on black crime is the only category. But I just think that it's stupid that we even have to have a hearing about police brutality. Like, how many more videos do you have to see? How much more evidence do you need to have? And I'm just tired of us having these panel discussions about this. I'm tired of us having hearings to white people about this. Like, the fact that we have to keep proving that this is something that's a real issue is crazy to me.
So what they did was they pulled the mental health card and tried
who?
tried to make that the issue of police brutality, like the mentally ill people that are.
So then that supports our point about it being systemic. The fact that you keep hiring people who's mental. Like, all this stuff is so simple, but people make it sound like it's so complicated.
Right.
Like, why do we have to have
That's
a
why we're
multi-day
here.
hearing about police brutality and you know it's real? You know it exists. We already know this.
Well, there are people out there that say that it doesn't exist and it doesn't need to be dealt with.
Well,
That's
with people
why.
like that, I'm not going to pay you no mind because I'm not going to waste my breath trying to explain something to you that's real. You can go on Google and look it up for yourself.
Well, the thing about Google and stuff too is you can find arguments
Yeah, you
on
can
either
find the
side.
white nationalist news
Right.
reports.
Which I just
Yeah.
found. This white, I like to read both sides, right?
Yeah.
Because I do agree with some things that Candace says.
Yeah, of course.
Because we've talked about that on this
Like
show
we
before.
say,
We
even a
talked
broke
about
clock is right twice
even
a
a
day.
broke clock is right twice a day.
Right.
And we do need to address those issues too.
Right.
But I don't care what's going on in my house. When I walk
Right.
out of my house, I have the right to not be shot by a police officer.
Facts.
So
Facts.
that's my whole point.
And it's like white people, they don't understand that.
Well, it's not happening to them, so they don't have to understand. So
Exactly.
I don't even look to them when there's issues that involve us
Amen.
that don't affect them. I look to each other.
Yeah. If you ever get the chance, Chelsea Handley, she has a documentary on Netflix. Something, I think it's like white privilege or something. And one of the black students at Southern Cal told her that the fact that you're even making a documentary about white privilege and trying to learn about white privilege is disgusting. Because again, we have to teach you about your issues instead of y'all just learning yourself and not making it such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get why we always have to explain ourselves to white people. Like, we always have to
because
explain.
they don't have the issues that affect them.
They're not experiencing what we experience.
Right.
So of course they're not able to relate. Like I won't say I don't blame them for not understanding.
Right.
No, I don't blame them for. I don't.
Because, I mean, if you're in a good spot in society, like, you shouldn't have to worry about nobody.
Realize,
this is.
I'm not gonna excuse them from being privileged or saying that they're not. But they might not realize that they are privileged.
Which is a fact.
Because
Because they're in a whole different mindset and world.
Well, think about it. If you've grown up anytime during the, between the 60s and the 2000s, everything that you've learned, seen, or as far as TV or society or
Dang, I didn't even think about TV
it's
as
all
well.
been like, you know,
It's you.
you've had to
Normal.
learn about
Yeah.
them.
Think
Yeah.
about a kid that was born into a rich family.
Or not even that, a regular middle class suburban
Them
family.
to go poor or have
And you
less
barely
than
see
what
black
they
people.
had.
Yeah.
Think about these wives that so used to a lifestyle when they have a divorce, like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the
Or
same
stay at
thing.
home moms, they don't even have to work.
Yeah, like-
That's true. That's
So,
true.
You know, something out of their dorm, like they're confused, like what?
Police brutality.
You know?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. That's
But
true.
to the same time, like you gotta realize you do watch the news. I mean, we
So
watch
you
the
gotta
news.
see something.
You gotta
Yeah.
see that something is wrong.
Right.
You have
That's
to
very
understand
true.
that
Well,
something
Yeah,
is
you
wrong.
can't be
but then
completely
that
oblivious.
Even us as black people, if white people were getting killed,
We would still notice that.
we'd be like, oh yeah, it's something going on.
That's true.
Now, would we care? I don't know.
Yeah.
I really doubt we would though.
hmm
But we gonna realize that yeah, something is wrong.
But if it did happen, this has to be like in an alternate universe for us to even feel like, oh, like should we even know what's going on? Because for us, we're already in that position where we always have to look deeper in the stories. So we automatically have to care. With white people, they don't necessarily have to care because nothing really affects them except for all the stuff that's good. Because really, like, they don't have to worry about systematic oppression or things towards them. And I mean, now Trump supporters, they can say that white men are being attacked, but like you
And
really
to
can't.
Your point, I do think sometimes we make something out of it. Like we go deep for no reason on certain things. Like,
But
for
out
example,
of us being paranoid.
But for example, I know y'all seen the H&M. They came out with the. New
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
but the girl
yeah,
didn't have
with
the
the hair,
edges.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would have
people
just left that alone.
But no, people was mad. Like
Yeah.
first off, this girl, like this looked like a little girl. Like
Yeah, she's probably
a
about
normal
9 or
little girl,
10.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't. And then when I seen, the whole campaign was about kids with messy hair. Like they had white kids with messy hair.
Wow.
And then they had another picture of her. But it's just like, I mean, a kid that's in school can relate to that girl.
Yeah, because
You
that's
feel
what they be
me?
looking like when they
Instead
get
of,
home.
Instead of putting out the single
After a
model
long
with
day at school.
the top looking, the
Yeah.
prettiest girl. I'm
Yeah.
not saying the girl
Yeah.
wasn't pretty, but
Yeah.
just the person that they best all the time, like
Right.
they made it natural. And now black people was complaining like, oh, they should have did her hair. But it's girls that really look like this. They didn't just make this up.
Hey, they
Like,
kids be looking like that. They
Yeah,
gonna
like,
tell
I
you.
used to go to school and see girls look like this. Like when I was younger, so
I feel
it's
it.
like we digging deep. We trying to find a problem. That's we so confrontational. Like we ready to go
Yeah.
to war. Like
'Cause
That's
we
the
angry.
only way a
No.
lot of
'Cause
people
we
learn how to
angry.
communicate was through anger.
Yeah.
we have.
And then too, I mean, it's a bad look because why are we even to these same people that were boycotting H&M a year ago? Or was the coolest monkey in the jungle, was that this year or was it last year?
Might have been this year, late
Because
last year,
everything be moving fast. So at the end of the day, it was recent. So I thought we were supposed to be boycotting H&M anyways. So the fact that we're even bringing them up again, giving them free press, why are we even looking at this? So who knows, man? Like, I agree with you. We just got to fall back sometimes. And even if we know that it's a problem, it is what it is.
I think we just really gotta strategically pick our battle. Like we don't have to
Like
fight
with
about
Quick Trip.
everything. Like the police brutality, I
Don't.
feel like that's something that we could attack. Like
Because it's something that's real.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like we gotta figure out. And again, it goes to the local elections.
Mhm.
We gotta put the right judges in place.
Yep. Yep.
We just really gotta build our own. Like all this is really telling us we gotta just build our own.
It's that simple. When it comes to clothing, all that stuff. Or when it comes
like,
to
we gotta
anything.
build our own little Chinatown. We should have a.
But every
MLK
time we
Boulevard
build
should
our
be
popping.
own, every time
Yep.
we build our
It
own,
gets
we
torn
feel
down.
like we need to run out and find out what's going on over there, or
What
let
did they
them
say?
in.
White man's ice
Or
is
let
colder?
them in.
Yeah, we
That's
feel like the
the
white man's
narrative
ice
that's
is
being
colder.
pushed. Why is that narrative being pushed? That's a narrative. We keep telling ourselves that, and now we're believing that every time we build our own, we going.
It's gonna get torn down.
We keep reinforcing that in our brain. Every time we say that, we're reinforcing that. Just like I always say, every time we say we don't support black business, that's a lie.
And we're pushing that
reinforcing
narrative.
We're
Yeah.
making that the narrative like that's
Yeah.
the truth, and it's not.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, what we can say is that the people from Tulsa, Oklahoma, the white races, or the people from over here, even on Woodruff Park, 1906, their tactics work because, as you see, what do we say now? Man, we better off not even trying to build our own because what's going to happen? They're going to tear it down. And it's just like we got to hit up people like Kamani from the panel. Like, we got to understand that if we want to have our own, we got to have our own when it comes to security, when it comes to the people who got the guns. Because, I mean, even with Tekashi, we don't have to talk about this, but learning how his driver, he was a federal informant. So you don't know who's who sometimes. So I think that that's what scares people too. Like, if we build our own, that we can have people that's snitching and stuff and telling people on the other side what's going on.
You just gotta be prepared for that. Like,
It's gonna come with the territory.
Be prepared to be, like,
it's gonna come with the territory.
That comes with having discernment. That comes with having discernment.
Yeah.
And like we've been
that's
seeing
true.
within our own, the community, everybody wants to be the king of wokeness, right?
Yeah, everybody wants to be the top dog. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be the top dog. Like, we got to get away from that too. Like, oh, this was my idea. Like, who cares? It's just
not
gonna
about
work.
one person.
We're gonna work. It's for the better of everybody,
It's
right?
not about one person. That's right. That's a good point. And speaking on that, I feel like egos, that's something that has to get checked, because even when it comes to black-owned businesses, or even with this media platform, we've ran into people, we're not going to drop names, that have egos of, if I come on this show, like, you got to do X, Y, and Z, or, not trying to, or people might not barter or do X, Y, and Z. So I think that that's another issue. But then when we see these people on a bigger platform, they'll go with the flow.
People will sink the whole ship if they're not the captain.
Dang, that's a bar. That's true. And we've seen that firsthand.
You don't need everybody to have their own podcast.
Why not, support one
you need to
that you already see is flowing.
On board with one.
But people don't want to be a part of something.
I'm not saying that everyone shouldn't.
Oh, of course. But I see what you're saying.
I've seen people that have great careers. Mm-hmm. Now they move on and they have podcasts or whatever, mm-hmm. and they have all their own. Everyone has a podcast, their own podcast. Even though
saturated.
It would be better if some of them, not all of them, because I think some have different subject matters or whatever, and great, everyone have their own.
Right.
But there are some companies that mm-hmm. need to merge together for the betterment of the people.
And can you imagine how huge that would be?
Man, that would be awesome.
And then two, I feel like.
I think we all listen to the radio because it's free, and so.
But we don't realize the power that we have.
Yeah.
When it comes to us having our own. Two, what I think needs to happen is we need to stop only supporting businesses and black-owned businesses once they're amazing and popped off, instead of supporting it when it's up and coming. Because I don't think that not we, of course, because I'm not trying to, generalize, but I feel like we need to support things that's up and coming. Like how, we were talking about how people repost the Shade Room, but with us, and people repost our stuff all the time, shout out to that. But when we're posting content that's actually going to help you out.
This going back to what Jay Black said. People don't see the tribalism in politics. They see the tribalism in mess. Because it's fun and it's thoughtless. You don't have to think. It's not thought provoking. You don't have to make any decisions. You just have to watch it. Yeah. And you can share that, and it makes us feel friendly like football. Right? Like it feels like, and then it gives you your Facebook props and you get to talk to people. Because I don't watch any of those shows. So when my friends are talking, I feel left out. But I'm like, if that's the way it's got to be, that's just the way it's got to be. Yeah. You could not get involved in any of the mess, and you could strictly immerse yourself in business or politics or something like that, and it could politics though. And that's what I'm saying.
Sopranos. We just broke down the last episode of the
and that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Going back to what he was saying, like it's the same thing. It's gonna be mess, but it's gonna be things that you see that affect your daily life.
That's real. Yeah.
Why is this business being built next door to my house? Why is it this and not that? Why is it a black-owned company that's doing this? And why isn't this? Everything comes back to your daily life.
And what you saying there just made me think of something about the business. Something I learned yesterday at the panel. Like, if you go to City Hall, they can give you like a forecast of the neighborhoods and tell you what's coming and what's being built. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Just so you can know what's going on.
Yeah, that's needed.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know where to go.
I just found it out just now.
I didn't know you can. I didn't know that. I didn't know where to go to get all that information.
That's needed. See, we learned something today. Because they don't teach you this in school.
No.
You know what I mean? So the fact that he said that, now I know that. And really, I'm starting to realize, and even with us creating the website and stuff, there's really no more excuses out here. Like,
to not know.
There's so much knowledge out there that you can literally just go to Google, you can go to YouTube and learn this stuff.
Absolutely.
So, and even when it comes to gentrification, I know that that's a huge thing right now with, everything that's being built. Heck, even that loft that's down the street, they just tore that down.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, that's crazy. But again, like what you said, Jay Black, when it comes to going to City Hall, learning what's about to be built, like we got to realize, okay, gentrification, that's a problem right now. Black businesses, all that stuff. Like we need to support more of that. But also we need to actually become like part of the game and not just watch from the sidelines. And I think that all that needs to stop as well. That's a big thing. And the complaints.
Like I said, man, we gotta change. We gotta just change how we talk to ourselves and talk to each other. Like,
yep.
You know what you
Absolutely.
They always say the power is in the tongue. Like
Yeah, that's facts.
Absolutely.
So if you keep putting that out, like you're gonna start believing it.
Yeah.
You're gonna start believing it. You
Yeah.
keep putting negative stuff out, you keep telling yourself negative, you're gonna start believing it.
Right.
It's gonna start becoming true.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
It's just how life is.
So, but
Yeah.
so do you think that
That's
people
it.
should call each other niggas then?
I try not to use the word. I really never try to use it online. Like on Twitter
Me
or
neither.
something.
No,
Yeah.
no, no,
I
no,
never
no.
use it online. I still say it amongst my friends, like,
Yeah.
but I never really say it online, like
Yeah.
to the public,
Yeah.
because I just don't want no white person feeling like they can copy.
They
me.
can say
Like,
it,
If I'm
yeah.
saying it, that's
In
like,
public,
hey,
too.
You call yours like, nah, I don't want you to have that permission.
So I can say it too.
I had white friends, and one of them said it one time, and I checked him, and I say, bro, don't ever say it again, like, you know.
What?
you
He
know,
said it to you?
He was just saying it, like
Yeah.
he just said it, like he was just talking.
He was feeling himself. He was around the black people.
But
Yeah, that's how it is.
The other black dude, I guess he let him say it around him. And
See.
I'm like, nah.
That's how it is.
Really?
And,
Some people
you know,
do.
Just when I'm around him, I never use it. Like I said, when I'm on
Some people do.
public forums and stuff, I never use that. 'Cause
And
I don't know. I don't want nobody, you know.
Yeah, you know, there's things that can be done in public, and there's things that can be done behind closed doors.
To
So you said
this
for
guy
home.
that I used to talk to. Him and his homeboys were talking, and they were, clowning each other like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And but I never heard him say this. I was just this one dude that was saying it to him. He was like, yeah, bitch, nigga, yeah, ho. I'm just like,
You talking to him like he's a female. Yeah.
I
well, not like a female,
I
but
was
you know what I mean.
mad though.
I
Yeah.
know niggas that be saying,
Yeah.
they be saying bitch.
But that's
Yeah.
but me just
It's
asking.
disrespectful.
First of
Yeah.
all, don't do it in front of me because you're not gonna talk to him like that in front of me.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of woman I am. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You with
Yeah.
your boys and y'all talk, but that's so deep. It's so much deeper than that.
Because it shows how we really
that's
think of each
how
other.
That's so disrespectful.
Shout
and
out to the
so
black
rude.
quarterbacks playing right now, Dwayne Haskins, Ohio State. This David Black boy.
Oh
But
yeah?
Yeah.
You went to school with him?
Nah,
He
but
came out of
alma mater.
Oh.
But yeah, Kim, I feel you because I think that reflects how we really feel about each other too. When we start saying words
And
like
that's
that.
going back and
Because it's like
listen,
you wouldn't say that to your mom.
Candace Owens was in Atlanta at that Revolt conference,
Yeah.
and she said, black people, we need to check each other. Black families need to be, we
And-
need more male figures.
And she was right about that.
And then another
Yeah.
study came out, and Joe Biden said, with the poor kids,
We need to learn.
they
certain
learn
words.
4 million less words by the time they're in school. They
Yeah.
know they're already starting off.
Vernacular
at a
is terrible.
disadvantage.
That's true. And we
Jay-Z
can't spell
said
two
it.
and two.
Jay-Z said
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but when Bill Cosby said it, everybody wrote him off.
And see, that's the thing. We gotta stop getting Jay Black's word emotional when it comes to people telling you stuff, and
When
especially
she said
when it's
what
us.
she said at that panel, they were going off on her. Like,
But-
everyone disagreed with it. They
but-
were like, there's no shortage of black fathers in the home. That's a lie. That's a myth. That's not what's going on. And I see the tide turning. I really do. I see a lot of black men supporting their families and living with
right
their
here,
kids, taking
Danny,
custody of their
Terrell,
kids.
Lou.
Yes.
You already know something right here. You know what I mean? So that's true. By the way, check out our Revolt Summit article on ctdatl.com. But in that, I was pretty much talking about the same thing that you just said, Kim. Of course, with Candace Owens, I get it that she said outlandish stuff in the past, but we can't turn people off just because of somebody's political views.
Right.
You still got to listen to them. And I feel like that's dangerous with us, is that we only want to listen to people who we agree with, not understanding that you can learn a lot from somebody who you don't agree with. And although, you can say that, oh, she said some crazy stuff, but like what you said, some of the stuff she said was true. But if T.I. said it, everybody would be clapping. So I don't feel like that's a safe space to even operate in.
Right.
At all. And I think that's why she gravitates towards white people so much, is because we don't even try to accept her. So she feels like she doesn't even belong properly.
Right.
People like Kanye too.
So Kanye was here, and he went to the church.
Oh,
and,
yeah. We didn't film last week.
Jamal
so yeah,
Bryant's church. And
drop that money, Kim. 20 stacks, bro.
I like Jamal Bryant.
I like him a lot too, especially after seeing him in person.
Bishop Eddie Long church.
Yeah, he does. Yep. That's
He
the church
was
he has.
He took over. He was
New
in
Birth.
Baltimore.
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
he was a pastor in Baltimore. His wife is on one of those reality shows, and
Ex-wife, but
his ex-wife, but they're
supposedly,
dating
yeah,
again.
they're about to get back together.
Preacher's wife?
That's what it is. I think so.
That's
That is
crazy.
not the name of the show.
Is it?
What, y'all just made up a show?
No, they got a show called
Yeah.
Preacher's Wife.
Yeah. Because you
It's
remember,
like, that's
it used to
my
be a
wife.
show called Preachers
Sid,
of
do
LA.
you know
I
what
think.
show Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife is on?
Or we can Google it. We can find out.
Preacher's Wife.
That is not the name.
Why
of
should be
baby.
Preacher's Wives?
You Google.
Let's see.
Preacher's Wives of Atlanta.
Wow.
Oh shoot.
You gotta apologize. To
Sorry.
I think
He lying.
They got a whole reality show for Preacher's Wives now. That's crazy.
Like that's a lot. Like,
Hey, they making that check any way they can.
idiot.
But yeah, I remember it was a show called Preachers of LA. It was another show about preachers.
What is the name of the show? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, the Sisterhood.
The Sisterhood. That's what it is. It comes on TV One or we
TLC.
TLC. Oh wow, okay. They got
She's
a major
beautiful.
network deal. Yep, and he cheated on her, man. The gospel song say, "We fall down, but we get up." He gonna redeem himself. He realized he made a big mistake.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but shout out
For
to
better,
Jamal
for
Bryant.
worse, for richer, for poor, till death do you part.
That's it. But Kim, do you feel like it was kind of messed up and foul, allegedly, according to T.I.'s podcast, that they were told to walk up to the front and then
Well,
the
the way
pastor
I
said-
heard the story initially, I was
Yeah.
like, come on, man. But
Yeah.
the way that I heard it later, I could see where he thought that that was kind of messed up. But,
Nah, this came out 2013.
it might be. I mean, maybe she's just on the
I
new
think I heard
season.
something recently.
But it might be a new season of the same show,
Yeah,
no?
and-
Anyway, that was that. So there was another topic that we have an article, Caleb wrote an article about, and it's on black quarterback.
You ready to talk about some football, Kim? Some NFL
I'm
football?
gonna let y'all have that.
But it's about black people, though.
Go ahead. What's up?
All right, so in the article, I was just, having a conversation with my friends. I know you probably might remember him, Joe, short Hispanic guy. He was here that one time. But, we always talk about football and sports, guy talk, regular stuff.
So
but-
did you used to play football, right?
Yeah. So when we were talking, Joe, he brought up like a really good point. And Joe, he's not even black. And that made me just take a step back where he
What?
said, do you feel like right now is the golden age of black quarterbacks in the NFL?
That
I'm
was
like,
there's an
wow.
article too about that out there.
Undefeated. And that was weird. The next morning after the website launched, I go on ESPN First Take, and they had the same exact question. And I was like, man, somebody got to be checking this out. But all that being said, it was just crazy because when he asked me that question, and then when we started going through all the black quarterbacks, what they just show right now, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Kaepernick when he played, of course, Dwayne Haskins right there, rookie, Kyler Murray. I know I'm missing out on some more
think
people.
Right now, I think I saw a picture. It was either 11 quarterbacks they start. It's 11
That's
out of-
amazing.
out of 32 teams.
That's
are
almost
black
half.
quarterbacks.
That's almost half.
And then Haskins, I think Haskins made 12 now.
That's amazing. And then if you think about it, these guys aren't slouches. We're talking about Pro Bowlers, Super Bowl winners. And I thought that the piece that it was kind of timely because right now with the Jay-Z madness that's going on or with Kaepernick, we've been focusing on the negative. And this is a bright spot realizing that although, of course, we can't change everything that's going on right now in the league, but how kids that were once our age can turn on the television set and see quarterbacks that look just like them, short, tall, skinny, thick, that's actually playing at a high level. And even, Deshaun Watson, that's who I forgot. And I think especially right now with Lamar Jackson's success, when I saw that, and people, they don't realize how racism played towards his selection in the NFL draft. He was the last pick of the first draft. And a lot of GMs said that he's a receiver. He's too athletic to play quarterback.
Cool.
He runs too much. Lamar Jackson plays for the Baltimore
You don't
Ravens.
have to. Isn't that a good thing that you can do all that?
They don't care about that. And
Oh.
they try to use athleticism as this thing, as a scapegoat to say that we don't want to draft you because you're too athletic. So you'll try to run too much and you won't focus on your arm and you won't have the fundamentals base. And seeing somebody like Lamar come into his second year and just ball out, go crazy. Somebody like Pat Mahomes, he won an MVP at 23 years old and threw for 50 touchdowns.
Wow.
And was one game away from playing in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. That's a huge accomplishment. And right now, I feel like he's going to get MVP again this year. So just seeing that, Dwayne Haskins right now, he almost scored a touchdown. So seeing these black young quarterbacks play at a high level, unapologetic too. Like they're playing with their gold chains on, they dancing in the end zone, having a good
With
time.
the game, with the gold chain.
I love that. Like Dwayne Haskins right now, rocking his chain.
$300,000 watch on.
I love
In
it
the
though.
game?
Yeah.
Why?
I love it. Well, as you saw, he got a big deal out of that. So I mean, I just love.
Oh, did he? Because the watch company he had
Right,
on?
because he brought them so much press. So I just love our black quarterbacks playing with the gold chain, with the earrings on, having swag about themselves and not trying to conform to being this white quarterback. And I think for a lot of GMs, this is shutting them up. And one particular topic, now looking back at it, I could have probably fit it in the story, but if Jay Black probably remembers this, when Deshaun Watson, when he was drafted, Mitchell Trubisky was drafted before him. And Mitchell Trubisky only started 1 year at North Carolina.
I'll assume.
And I don't even think that they had a winning record. And the fact that Mitchell Trubisky was drafted second and Deshaun Watson fell to 12th, and he won a national championship and beat Alabama. A year before that, he played in a national championship game. He almost won the Heisman. And the fact that they came up with excuses for a black quarterback to not get drafted number 1 overall, but a white quarterback out of nowhere just because they said that they liked him.
I mean, it goes back to traditional thinking. And
Yep, that's
even,
it.
Even to that point, like, we didn't have black quarterbacks like Jamarcus Russell that was amazing in college and came in the NFL and made them look like.
And see,
But what
but
does that
that's
have
what
to do
happens.
with-
But that's what happens when we only have a small sample size.
But what does it have
Right.
to do with your race and not your physical ability?
It's just that they try to stereotype black quarterbacks. And
Who is they?
the whole NFL when it comes to the scouting department, when it comes to white, you remember I was telling you it's important to have black GMs, and I was saying that we focus on having white ownership, but we shouldn't worry about that just yet because that's going to be a big thing. We need to focus on having white people in the front office of these NFL teams because general managers select your quarterback. They select your running back, your receiver. So these are like your hiring managers somewhat, HR department. So that's why when it comes to black quarterbacks, although they don't say it outright, if you watch football, you know what they're trying to say. That, oh, his IQ might not be high enough, or he doesn't know how to read coverages, or he may not be accurate.
So why is it that y'all could see, like we were just talking about before, how, you know, talking to each other and how it relates in business and the representation of black
quarterback
people.
right here, Lamar Jackson.
Why wouldn't you see that in the NFL?
So what
You
mean
don't
again?
think that that's doing what does that do to a young black boy that's an NFL fan and they see this and they hear all this about black people? Are they in New Jersey? That's so many white people.
It is. It is.
Wow.
It is. It is. You
I
see a
mean-
black person in the stands. But Kim, I think there's both positives and negatives because even in the article, I tried to address that. What people don't realize is.
But why
is
is that? Why is that the what do
Well,
you think that does to
representation
a young black boy?
is still there because even during my era, Jay Black's era, we had Michael Vick, Dante Culpepper, Steve McNair, he was on his way out. Warren Moon, he was in the 90s. Randall Cunningham, he was in the 90s.
Okay,
so we still had.
it's gotten better over the
Yeah,
years.
and see,
Okay.
mind you, that these quarterbacks are arguably Hall of Famers, what Warren Moon is, and these guys were amazing. It's just right now we're looking at possibly a whole slew of future Hall of Famers playing at one time.
There's never been a point in time to where I wouldn't even say we had 5 starting black quarterbacks.
Really?
And good starting, well, great pretty much.
Tradition is
So now
Yeah.
these are great quarterbacks that
Yes.
we have now.
Very, very talented. Dwayne Haskins, although this is his first time playing right now at Ohio State, in 1 year, they just showed his stat line. He had 50 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's ridiculous. Like the fact that you're throwing for 50 touchdowns in college, that's amazing. And right now, he's finally getting his chance. And I think that people like Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes, Cam Newton, that they're, and Colin Kaepernick as well, RG3, they opened up this wave of now not questioning black quarterbacks being good enough.
Well,
So,
that's good.
yeah, so I think that's one bright spot out of football right now. But I want to ask you this, though, Kim. After us finding out about the Super Bowl and the performances, do you feel like we're being
J-Lo
played right now?
and Shakira, if you guys don't know, were announced to be the headline performances at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Uncle Luke, he was kind of livid about that.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever happened after that whole Jay-Z thing, I caught hell from everybody, and I said, okay.
Yeah.
Like I always say about the law of the universe, it'll
show itself.
It'll show itself.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what the problem. I don't have no problem. I don't care. I don't
People
care
like
about
Luke,
any of it.
he was just expressing that he thought with Jay that this was going to be a black experience. And he was saying how he gets the whole, and like what you said, the Latin influence.
It wasn't
But-
just him. There were a lot of people
Yeah.
saying like, there's no. I mean, every year you're not going to get a black. This country is not all
That's
black
what
people.
Isaac Hayes of the third
Every
said.
year
He said
is
here in
not-
Atlanta, we have
mean,
everybody.
yeah.
And instead we got who? Maroon 5?
Right. I
And
mean,
Travis Scott, he's from Houston. It's like, bro, in Atlanta literally runs music, so you don't have to go outside of anywhere. But then at the same time, of course, we have the whole element of people boycotting the Super Bowl at the time.
I don't even think that has anything to do with it. I mean, as a leader of as a corporation, the NFL is not just catering to the people in that city. They're getting entertainment for the people that are watching the Super Bowl from all over the world. And if you think Atlanta is running whatever, the Latino music is running everything. If you go to a club right now in somewhere in Buckhead and you walk in there, it's gonna be
bumping, baby.
Daddy Yankee or something like that.
But Pitbull, he's from Miami.
Pitbull.
They should have had him though.
This is the first time, like I can see if Jay-Z was in charge or Rock Nation was in charge of the Super Bowl this year here, and then it didn't go down. Like I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
I went to Miami a couple times. Like
strong influence.
Their first language is Spanish.
Easy.
Like
yeah.
I'm speaking English, they coming up to
it's
me
a different
speaking
country.
Spanish. Like
yeah.
That's what's going on down there. It's hip hop down, there's hip hop everywhere, but that represents Miami.
It does, but
that represents Miami, like you feel me?
It does, but just like how we have the Latin influence, we still got a whole bunch of us over there too. And
but I mean,
okay,
like
there's gonna be a whole bunch of events there.
The NFL is not. We want everything. The NFL is not a black league. Like,
of course,
the NFL America is not a black country.
Right.
We can't have. We want everything, and if we don't get it, we gonna cry.
In the last 10 years,
how mad at the NFL anyway? Why do we care?
Yeah, that's why I say
I think it's a problem. Why are we going against Jay-Z? Because J-Lo is at the fucking Super Bowl. Like, who cares, bro? Like, who cares?
Luke, his point
that
was,
shit is petty. Like, we worried about the wrong shit.
I feel
we get mad at each other about the wrong shit.
I feel it.
Let's focus on the real problems. You mad? Now you got beef with Jay-Z over a Super Bowl? Who cares, bro?
I don't know. Maybe
Luke, he was just saying though that at the end of the day, the Super Bowl, the NFL, they're gonna come and use up, his city's resources. And he was just saying
he's bringing money to your city. I didn't understand when he said that.
Well, Luke was saying that they don't need any money.
What ownership is Miami giving him?
I don't know. He might have some. Right. I have no idea. Right. Hey, he could have something.
If that happens in Miami, he should have a say-so in it.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Uncle Luke was.
But at the same time, I see where he's coming from, though, because I think people expected from what happened at that meeting for the Super Bowl performances for it to involve. It was supposed to be what, Ken? Social reform, social justice. So I think that's what people are trying to find out. Like, how does J-Lo and Shakira connect to social justice reform?
Well, I'm sure that they'll have more events. All they announced was the Super Bowl halftime performance. That's all they announced. For all we know.
Did they say that the Super Bowl was supposed to be about the reform?
Well, they said the Super Bowl halftime performance, though, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where people are like, Jay, like, how does this connect? Because at first we were giving you passes and saying, hey, we don't know, but now that
here's Uncle Luke.
What is y'all?
Here's Uncle Luke.
Man watching the Super Bowl perform. What do y'all want for the Super Bowl halftime show? It's a concert.
It is.
It is a concert.
And see, I think that's what makes it so nuanced. It's like, what is it?
Okay, here's Uncle Luke. Listen.
I am so pissed right now.
Then you go online and do it. You can call Jay-Z. Why are you going online? You trying to make a?
He could.
Trick Daddy.
And then go bring us. We don't need the NFL. Our hotels are already filled up.
Let me ask y'all this.
You need us. Jay-Z,
I probably missed it. But did San Francisco cry when Beyonce was doing the performance?
It's
San
Beyonce.
Francisco in the uproar when Beyonce did the performance?
It's Beyonce.
It don't matter. She's not from there. She's not white.
I just think
she don't represent San Francisco.
I feel you.
But she did a thing. She did a dedication
to the Black Panther
Party.
When she was down there.
She's
I will say
she's fake from there.
But what makes fake from there? But what makes
nobody
this different?
from New Orleans was on that halftime show.
I feel it. But with this, I think what makes it different is now all eyes are set on the Super Bowl halftime performance because that was discussed during the meeting. And two, it's more pressure because Jay, he's involved. And people don't know what's going on, and there's no clear cut thing of what's supposed to happen, what's gonna happen. So I think right now people are just being skeptical and just on
Jay
point.
and
People
Roc
want to know.
Nation's defense.
Yeah,
The two artists are Roc Nation artists.
yeah,
If that's the case, Uncle Luke signed with Roc Nation. The doors might open up. For
It could.
You can get these big performances.
it could.
Play the game, learn the game, bro. Why would you get online and
People are concerned though.
What, 40, 50 years old? And you
Yeah, he
online?
over 50.
40 or
He over
50.
50.
You a
Yeah,
grown
Luke pushing on
ass
60.
Man, bro.
Uncle
You 60
Luke?
years old.
Yeah.
You a grown ass man. Call this man. FaceTime this man if you want to be on camera and shit.
Yeah.
You a grown ass man, bro. You a man, bro. Be a man.
That's true.
Be a man
Yeah.
and call it. If you got a problem with somebody, if I got a problem with somebody, I'm not about to go online first.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
post it
call
on
this person
Instagram.
first.
Hey, but look, Jay, he
Talk
might
to
be
this
so
person
hard to
first.
get in touch with. Luke probably tried.
All right,
He
well,
could have get in
shit,
touch.
You can get in touch though.
Yeah.
Shoot him a
It's
text.
possible.
Even if you shoot him a text, if he don't respond, he's seeing the text.
Yeah.
I'm not about to get online and explain. Come on, bro. Like,
Again, it's nuanced and it's complicated because at the same time, you can see both sides.
I
And-
don't see his side.
Or,
First of all, I don't care.
yeah.
Second of all, if I conjure up a bit of a care for the show right now for us to talk about it, Luke, Uncle Luke, what do you have to do with anything? Like, who do you want to perform? Somebody from Miami? Why? Like, J-Lo and Shakira have fans in Miami, right?
I mean, of course, everywhere in the world.
What's the big deal?
Yeah. Again, people are just trying to make sure
When
that
the
everything
Super
flows
Bowl was
right.
in Atlanta, they had Big Boy and
Maroon 5.
Sleepy Brown up there with Maroon 5. They didn't even get their own, like...
Nah.
they was on the
they-
stage, like,
They said
They-
y'all
on
gonna
the
share
stage,
this.
man. They
Y'all
was
gonna
on
share
stage.
this stage with Maroon 5,
they was
bro.
on the stage. It's like, man,
Y'all just hop on there and make the black people happy.
it's not enough. But
Yeah.
you know, back in the day, they asked Outkast to be on there and they declined it. So it's like, man,
But that's why I said last year really doesn't count because people were boycotting the Super Bowl performance.
That too.
Because
That
Cardi
whole
did,
movement was going
Cardi
on.
did, Rihanna. So they actually tried to get black acts, but Outkast as well. They probably would try to hit up T.I., but they already knew where he stood.
Rihanna is
Cardi, you
boycotting-
turned it down, didn't she?
She
Yeah,
did.
So I mean,
Yeah.
Cardi turned down the Super Bowl performance, but she was still performing at Super Bowl events here in Atlanta.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Uncle Luke, have some events there. Have it the same day as the Super Bowl.
Oh, I mean, of course,
Have-
this doesn't mean that
this
he's not
doesn't
going to
mean
have it.
That
He's probably
not.
still
There's
gonna
gonna
have
be
his
so
events.
many things going on that
he's
whole
trying to-
weekend.
listen, this is what
He's just trying to do
He's
anything.
Trying to cause an uproar so people can reach out to him so he can be a part of the Super Bowl. That's it. Like on some Jermaine Dupri shit. You supposed to run
Pity
the
party.
city. You should, bro. This should be already in place.
So he should have already known who was going to be performing.
Not
or
even that.
what.
Like you know the Super Bowl is coming. Like get your ducks in order. This is your
Yeah.
city.
That's
Get
right.
your ducks in order and
That's right.
capitalize off this shit.
Yeah.
Don't get online and cry about. Oh, we done this. Man, shut up, bro.
Right.
Shut
Say
up.
black over this, man.
Yeah,
I feel
like,
you.
People cry about
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
we crying about that shit is annoying. Like
Yeah.
you was a 60-year-old man crying about some bullshit. Like how does this affect your life?
Yeah.
How does this affect his life?
Yeah. People are just worried
That's
about
his city.
being played, man. That's the biggest thing
He
right
said
now. I
Trick
think.
Daddy should have been performing.
Hey, but look, hey, to his defense,
Trick Daddy.
he said Pitbull first and then Flow Rider, so I give him that because those are actual pop
Hey,
stars.
if he would have had what's his name, Rick Ross perform,
Ross, yeah, he
he
said
could
that
have.
as
He
well.
would have had to
Yeah.
merge
He said Rick
entertainment
Ross
and
as well.
criminal justice because he was a correction officer.
Chill, bro.
I don't.
We
expect
want to have Rick
that.
on the show one day, and
I
now
don't expect it.
He
I don't
can still
expect
come.
the
he gonna say it
halftime
to his
show
face. Like,
I don't expect the halftime show to
change your life.
not even
Like, I
that,
felt that
like,
performance.
When I'm looking at the
Social
halftime
justice.
show, I'm not looking for a justice reform.
And see, and look, being real, that was my problem with the whole thing with Jay. But that was my problem. But I think that was everybody's initial critique.
They want to have a panel up there. Like, a million man watching. Like,
But-
no, that's not gonna happen.
But that's why I think.
That reform is
Hey,
outside
Beyonce
of
caught hell for her performance.
Yeah, they said it was too black. So I think now, looking at Jay's deal with the NFL, I'm gonna just say it right here. It looks stupid. Like now,
I've been
really,
saying that,
'cause,
but,
again, just like what you said, how does a social justice reform even occur on a stage?
But
How does that
But that's my point. Like people just
in
I
T-shirts?
understand- but I
Like
understand-
how is it
listen,
selling
listen,
T-shirts change their lives?
listen, I understand. People not looking at this bigger picture. They taking this one piece, the halftime show. This is he's in the door, like he's in the door. But I get it.
It just ain't looking good. They just ain't looking good because we got coons that have a seat at the table, and they ain't trying to let nobody else eat. So we don't know. It's just right now. And then, I mean, as we see Jay, he ain't saying nothing. Like, he like, I got to explain to y'all nothing. I already said what I said. He said, I said what I
He
said.
had the nerve to get sarcastic when people were asking him questions about it at the press conference, too.
They got their mind made.
It comes with the territory, though, but you got to answer
so
that.
Why answer that?
Why have a press conference then?
True. Why have a press conference?
Why did you have a press conference?
He came out and said, he told y'all one time, I'm not about to keep going back and forth and telling you my plans. With Tidal, I told you what I was trying to do with Tidal one time. I told y'all artists. Y'all ain't believe it first, and now look where it's at. I'm not about to keep. If you don't listen, if you don't understand.
Say, look at my track record, man.
I'm not about to keep explaining. I'm not about to convince you.
Look at my track
to
record.
Believe in me.
That's deep.
You either gonna believe and you gonna see the results.
Yeah.
Or you gonna see the results from the sideline. Like I'm not about to keep arguing. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of energy. Real. It's like, bro, why do I have to keep arguing with you when I can just show you?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's just right now people saying that they ain't seeing it though. That's the thing.
It's only a month in. Yeah. Like no changes is happening over
just like
when
Puffy was gonna buy that NFL team, and I was like,
when he said he was gonna buy the Panthers, him and Steph.
I mean,
until he saw that price, you got to have a different amount of money, man.
Whatever, y'all enjoy Shakira.
That was like $2 billion.
Shakira could
hips don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
The hips don't lie.
I be trying to do that sometimes. I can't. Shakira. That's good for the women of a certain age. That's a good look. Go ahead and do your thing, ladies, at the Super Bowl. Yeah. For the women over a certain age. J-Lo winning 50. Out here. We out here.
She's 50.
Turn it up, girls.
J-Lo 50, man.
Is she?
Yeah, she's 50, man.
Her pretty boyfriend.
Right.
They
what you trying to say, Kim?
No, I'm just saying he's metro. Like, he's like, does his eyebrows tight.
All her partners are, I mean, really think about it.
You think?
A-Rod, that's who she's with. Mark Anthony, he was kind of like that, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I hope that everyone enjoys the Super Bowl because I don't watch the NFL.
Yeah. One day you will.
No, one day I won't.
Super Bowl party last year. This year.
What Super Bowl party?
We got receipts. We got receipts.
They had one here?
You were here.
I was at the party, or was I just chilling after the show? Or was I just chilling after the show?
Kim trying to act like she don't know.
I don't remember.
They got video footage.
Who performed last year?
They got footage of Kim.
Last year, it was somebody lame.
Where?
Oh, there was more. Oh, duh. It was here. We sat here. Duh, yeah. First, the Super Bowl was across the street, remember?
Yeah.
Weren't you guys here?
Yeah.
Y'all left, did y'all?
No, they walked over there.
You wasn't here for the game. You stayed and watched the game, is what I'm saying.
I didn't watch the game. I was here.
But you was in the atmosphere. You was at a Super Bowl
helping
party.
towards the Super Bowl
I'm
ratings.
always in the atmosphere because every Sunday you watched in the game.
Were you at a Super Bowl party?
Yes, I was there.
You got Kim on the witness stand.
I was about to be at the tailgate a few minutes ago when I was on my way here.
I don't recall. You should have said that.
No, I was here for sure.
Kim said she went to the tailgate.
Oh yeah, you supporting the NFL?
Not if I'm at eating the food.
Because somebody had to pay for those tickets to buy the lot, and some of that goes
right here on this corner. Did you see that tailgate, that barbecue pit they had?
Yeah,
baby.
They wear Falcons jerseys, right?
Yeah, they were.
All right.
Oh well.
You remember when the Cowboys, when they were here and you was tailgating? And the Cowboys were here.
What?
Yeah,
Kim.
Kim. Yeah. Kim, see, she try to act like she don't remember. Kim, she don't like the NFL, but she like everything that comes with the NFL. She like the food, the parties. All the men there.
She said, yeah.
If you think about it, you really like the NFL.
You like the experience of the NFL.
Hey, you really like the NFL, and you really like football. You do.
You might not like the game. You
no.
just don't like the game. You don't like the sport. You like
That's
the
like going
experience.
to a KKK rally and being like, I don't support KKK.
But she eating the sandwiches outside. Like, pass that plate.
They had good food and music, so it's okay.
That's why we just saying don't judge us, man.
Wait a minute.
Look,
I don't understand.
Right. I ain't wearing a jersey,
My
though.
family has a cookout at the parking lot of the game. Does that mean I'm tailgating?
Yes, because it's for the game.
They ain't tailgating just
They're
to
not
tailgate.
at the game. They're in the parking lot.
It's for the game.
Yeah.
It's
on a Sunday.
A pregame for the game. Like
No, they do it the whole game.
But they're watching football the whole time, ain't
It's part of the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the NFL.
You know the vibes, Ken.
All right, never
You
mind.
know the vibes.
Never mind.
Just like you said, those shows. Just like you said, Cardi B didn't perform at the Super Bowl, but she performed at everything around.
So she was still part of it.
That's a part of the Super Bowl, according to you. That's the same thing as a tailgate.
It's all right, Ken. It's okay, bro. Like you trying to
But
be
that's
so
what I'm saying,
disappointed
like,
in yourself. It's okay.
People figure they take what works for them, and then what makes sense. I mean, that's what I'm saying with this Jay-Z shit. Like, people still supporting NFL and doing things indirectly, but I don't know, man.
Is it safe to say it's impossible to boycott the NFL?
It's impossible to satisfy people.
Damn.
No, it's impossible. If
It's
it's
impossible.
if that's included, then yes, it's impossible to boycott the NFL. It's impossible.
No, it's not. You don't have to go to none of that. You don't have to go to the tailgate.
My family
You already
takes
know
all
why.
the food in the house and goes to this parking lot. If I want to eat, I gotta go over there with them.
Or you can say, let me get some leftovers.
Bring
You
it
don't
to the
have go
crib.
through that experience.
That's true.
Or you can just go get a plate and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like the NFL, man.
No, I don't. And
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
get you
ever gonna
a
say
Zeke
that.
jersey. You gonna wear you
Who
a nice
is
cowboy.
Zeke?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh
You gonna wear yourself a
God!
nice
I'm not
Cowboys
wearing no
jersey.
Confederate monument on my shirt. That's not gonna happen.
say, how about
no
them boys?
Confederate symbolism on
How
my
about them
shirt.
boys?
No, I'm never. Oh, he's cute.
You like Saquon?
He's really
You
cute.
my age, man. You a cougar kid.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
I
you only
can't.
22.
Like it. Oh hell no!
Oh, so look, that brings up something that I meant to ask you. So if you found a very attractive man, y'all was vibing out, and let's say that he played in the NFL or he was like a NFL coach, would you still date him?
Yes.
And his money's coming from the NFL?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you like the NFL then?
No. Nope.
So you would talk to somebody who worked for the NFL if he checked off all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So you like the NFL, man?
No.
That's where you getting that money from.
We're
That's
gonna
nice.
invest in outside sources
See,
and live off those dividends.
that's a great way to just say, "I'm with you." I'm with you.
All right.
Something else.
There was something else. What else did we post? Have you guys followed us yet?
Yeah, man.
The numbers are
Follow us
going up
everywhere.
small and small, but we have more subscribers on our YouTube channel. If we have more subscribers, we need you to listen to the podcast either on YouTube or wherever you listen to your favorite
That is
podcast at.
correct.
Make sure that you join the email list because we
Yep.
have a website now.
We do.
And there
Check
is
that
an
out.
email list and you can contribute to,
For only $1 a month. Do you know how cheap that is?
that's cheaper
New
than
York
cheap.
Times charges $1 a week. We charge $1 a month.
Do they charge $1 a week?
Mhm.
Is that why they won't let me go on their website anymore?
Yep. And keeping tabs. And also, we're gonna create a donate tab as well on the page. So if you guys want to give more than $1, we are not gonna hold you back. You're more than welcome to. We got the T-shirts listed. We got articles listed all throughout the platform, so you can keep up with the news. You can find out everything that you want to find out. And yeah, I mean, it's a really dope website. You've got podcast interviews, all that stuff, all on one platform. So check that out.
Yeah, and also check out Caleb's article on Morehouse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Morehouse
that.
is
That's
losing
crazy.
money.
I don't even know what to think about Morehouse, and that's sad that Robert Smith gave all that money and they still in the hole. I would have been like,
Well, he
I
gave
need
it
my
to
money back.
the debtors.
Yeah.
The student
I would've been like, I
loan,
need
the
my money
student
back,
loans.
man.
He paid off the loan person. He didn't
And
pay
then
the
for the
school.
parents too.
Right, but none of that goes to the school.
Right. It's
That
just-
goes to whoever you got your loan from.
It's just
So those
That's
people
ridiculous.
that got paid off, they should turn around and either do some charity.
yeah. I mean, something has to
go mow the lawn.
Yeah,
at
we
the
got to make
school,
something shake,
like,
man.
Yeah.
Because like what I said in the article, people gotta not be so cocky and think schools like Morehouse can't shut down. Because
Morris Brown.
shut down.
They shut. My uncle was going there when they shut down.
Wow.
He was in school, and in the middle of his I think it was like his second year, he had to transfer to Georgia State.
Wow, you
They
serious?
shut down.
And see, and people, they would have never thought a school like Morris Brown was shut down. Morris Brown shut down. Or schools losing their accreditation. Like, we got to stop thinking just because it's this historic name that nothing bad can happen to it. Right now with Morehouse, like, it's a really bad look. I think they're $5 million in the hole, and then it's like another $3 million or something like that. Check out the article. We broke down all the numbers and stuff, but people,
Morehouse a private school.
it is. And,
My cousin went to Morehouse.
and see, in Morehouse, they charge like $40K a year. So the fact that you charge that much and you're still in financial woes kind of makes people take a step back and say, where's all this money going? How are you millions of dollars in debt? And to me, Morehouse alumni, they got to step up. I know
Yeah.
it's a lot of people who take pride in going to HBCUs and, oh, I went here, and you have it like on your car tag. You
Yeah.
have the T-shirts and you're there for homecoming. But
Morehouse better get out here and sell some shirts.
yeah, Morehouse need to start selling merch on the street because
Yeah.
right now, alumni, y'all got to step up. And I'm just saying straight up, like, there's a lot of
It's
bougie black
homecoming.
people.
Homecoming is coming this.
And
Maybe we
Morehouse
should
need to
go
be
out
passing
there. Maybe we should
a
go out
collection
there.
plate around. Because, like, for real, like, the people who went to Morehouse and to these HBCUs, like Spelman, all these esteemed places, if y'all take pride in it so much, donate. They should not be in debt.
I don't know if they got a department. Like I always say, Ohio State, they be calling me all the time.
The Alumni
See?
Association.
They don't play because it's organized, and I'm not trying to knock us, but at the end of the day, we got to be organized. Like there is no way that we have so many millionaires and successful black people that went to Morehouse and Spelman,
and they love their HBCU.
Y'all love repping it. Y'all love bragging about it.
Shoot.
So why are they $5 million in debt?
Homecoming is gonna be lit.
But that's the problem. There's gonna be thousands of people there for homecoming. So the same people that's using Morehouse's campus to have fun and turn up, they need to be contributing towards keeping Morehouse doors open. Because I don't think people understand that Morehouse is completely liable to close their doors after a set amount of time because people don't realize how much money that they're losing. $5 million? And
that's horrible.
And the president said that he had to furlough, I think, retirement checks or staff.
Yeah.
He had to lay off
I
people.
saw that,
So
yeah.
that's jobs going away instantly. And that's staff that's going away instantly, which means that there's people that's not being able to do their jobs. When
Come
it comes
on,
to
y'all,
student loans and
step
things like
up,
that.
Morehouse alumni.
Again, I'm just saying for not all the Morehouse people, because there's some dope Morehouse people, but for all the bougie ones who take pride in it and think that you're better than, this is time to step up. Because if you got Morehouse on your car tag, you need to be supporting Morehouse financially as well. Because there's no excuse. $5 billion. People like Spike Lee went there, Samuel L. Jackson. Cream of the crop.
Come down here, we'll support.
Yep, cream of the crop. Before Morehouse turned into a white institution, or before Georgia State took over Morehouse.
They're not going to turn that into anything. They're going to tear it down and build some homes over there.
Whole Foods. So yeah, like we just gotta stop thinking that it can't happen to us.
Yeah.
And then when it finally starts happening, we're gonna start crying, and it's too late. And we got time to dance and drink and have fun, but we ain't got time to donate.
There was another thing that went on. New York State Senator proposed a bill to pay college athletes. That was a good thing.
Yep. We'll see though. I'm just
So
worried
that's
about
California and New York, right?
Yeah, it's a big state when it comes to that.
You guys think that's a good thing that they're going to pay the college kids? That'll help them make
It's a
better
step in the right
decisions.
direction.
It is a step in the right
And
direction.
two, I think that financial literacy, money management, that these can be taught when they're actually given a check in college instead of think about having no money in your bank account for 4 years and then you have 25 mil in your bank account. You really think that person is going to know how to take care of that?
Right. It'll get you to learn some financial literacy.
What they always, it's a
before you
management
decide to
budget.
grow.
Shit, you don't learn how to manage 10,000 when you get it. You learn how to manage. Like you're not gonna just all of a sudden learn how to
See?
manage money because you got a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. And when they have the rookie symposiums where they tell them, oh, you got to learn how to money manage and manage your money and yada yada
Well,
yada.
it's like a 3-day, a little weekend event.
But here's the thing, you can tell me that, but unless I'm actually doing it, I'm not listening. Or how they try to have women come in and say, hey, we pretty women like this throwing themselves at you. Until they're actually put in those situations, then that's how you learn. And I think if they learn this stuff in college, then when they finally get to the league, heck, they can already have invested most of their money already. Because, I just don't see somebody being broke as a teenager and then
Right.
you
All
become
of
a
a
grown
sudden,
man and you
you're
got
like,
25
yeah,
mil.
right.
They say that with lottery
You're supposed to be
winners, they
mature.
always go broke. Like,
Because-
that's a prime example.
Right, and two, I'm gonna be real. I feel like that's why these owners don't worry about giving these players money because they know that it's gonna come right back. Because they about to blow this check, so you ain't even gonna see all of it anyways. So I think that we just gotta learn at a young age how to take care of this money. So
Yeah, absolutely. There was some bad news on the political front for Houston. Willie Deeb is out of the running for city council.
So what's that? What happened?
He made an announcement on his page that he was ending his bid for Houston City Council District B effective immediately. They had a certain amount of time to register for something, and he missed the deadline, or they didn't notify him, or something like that.
So
But
it's petty.
yeah, but I think that Scarface is still running for District B. I think. So, support them and make sure you go to our website, CTD ATL. Make sure you like our Facebook page and just keep up with us. We appreciate you guys so much. I can't tell you. We've been getting inboxes, and I just want to thank everybody that inboxes us and sends us stories.
Right.
Some stories, like we already have, for example. Kel's the commissioner. Do you know who that is on Instagram? He sent me the article about the young girl whose dreads got cut off in school. Some of those stories, but by the time they get to us, they've already been like on the Shade Room, on the news, on the this,
So
on
it
the
just
that.
feels like
So it's like, people probably are aware of that. So, I just think that when it comes to stuff like that, it's better to sit down and talk our feelings through about it, you know, instead of like reposting it, because then it just like creates more internet chatter about it. And if it's not like we like solution-based, solution-driven conversations.
That's real.
But I think everybody that has ever commented or ever shared or liked our stuff, we really, really appreciate the support. Did you have anything else, Taylor?
Yeah, I see us growing.
Yeah,
already.
we are. We're really growing. We are growing.
How many podcasts you know with a newspaper? Yeah.
Right?
That's rare.
Because we serious about this.
That's real.
We are serious.
And you know, I want for us to get to the point where we're like a news TMZ, where we
Yeah,
have
we could
people on
be.
the street, like if you see
We
something,
are for some people. We
Yeah.
are. Like my stepmother.
I love
She
I
likes
mean,
to
come
keep
to us.
it. She likes to keep up with what's going on. So,
That's it, yeah. Like I want for us to have reporters one day where if something's happening, like we can
we
take somebody who
want
can
to
go out.
We're gonna go
Yeah,
out.
but I'm saying even if we can't go out on that day, like the fact that we can have a whole system set up.
Absolutely.
Writers as well, if anybody's interested in writing for it on our newspaper.
That's right,
hit us up,
Caleb.
that's huge.
Caleb, we need
Yeah.
writers.
Yeah, because I mean you don't want to hear just one person's
And
thoughts
if
and stuff.
you hear Caleb on the show and you read his articles, it's a different person. So you definitely want to read his articles.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
I mean,
It's a great perspective.
Thank
that
you so
have, I
much.
think.
Yeah, and two, I just think that it'll help just hearing everybody's mindset and perspective as well, because you don't want to hear just one person's opinion
No,
on things.
absolutely
so,
not.
And then two, for most people, the AJC isn't going to let you write an article for them. So I think with us, if you have something on your mind, I think that's very unique that you could just come to us, type something up, express your feelings.
There's a trial going on right now that I've been keeping up with.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I forgot about that.
hopefully by the time we come up next week, there'll be
She already crying. She's already
a
crying.
verdict on that. Amber Geiger, who shot Botham Jean, we talked about that earlier on the previous
And
episode
Kim, I
about
know
that
that she
whole
was
case.
sexting.
She
way.
walked into this man's apartment
Her
and
partner.
shot him.
She was sexting him.
Her
She
partner.
was sexting her partner. Her who's married?
Cop.
Who's
Yeah,
married.
he was a cop as well.
He's a cop. Her police
So
partner.
this was her partner, where it's like partner where you drive around all day.
Yeah.
How professional is that?
And he's
That's
married.
crazy.
So they had him on
That's
the stand the other day, and they were like, "Well, we don't think that's
Like, his marriage
inappropriate."
about to go down the drain.
So he was sexting with her, so she wasn't paying attention to where she parked at. She parked on a different floor. He lived on top of her. So when they pulled into the
Say
parking
like
lot,
they say this.
That's the story they going with.
but there really is no really good
There's no
excuse because-
justification.
Yeah, that's the story.
So
we gonna
another
go
thing
with.
they did was they had witnesses come to the stand that lived there that said, "Oh, I too have gone into the wrong apartment there." Like it's ridiculous. So the person that is dead, the complainant in the case,
Yeah.
what rights did he have? Like, so walking into
He
somebody's
has no
apartment,
story right now.
walking
You
into
can't
somebody's
hear.
apartment and killing them, is that not a crime? Like, why are we even wasting our time with this trial?
White
Like,
tears, man.
You don't.
White tears. It's vital.
I
It works.
think that they deserve to have a trial because that's their right.
Due
of course.
process,
Due
but-
process.
Which is fair to
Who
any
am
and
I?
everybody.
I'm just,
That's your American
I'm
right.
just a little girl from Newark, right?
But at the end of the day-
I just think that this is a waste of time.
You just asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend, like, why are we having this case? I get it,
Yeah.
you are due. Don't get me wrong. It's a due
But we
process.
should already have a conclusion.
But I mean, this is going on
Yeah.
day 6 of this trial, and there hasn't been anything that I've seen, and I've watched a lot of this case that would make me change my mind about anything. And I'm reading the
Wow.
comments because we're live watching it on Facebook, and
Right,
people are
right.
saying, okay, but no one's going for this. And then she broke down on the stand and she cried, and the judge said, "Excuse me, we're gonna take a recess. Let her get herself together. This will not be the narrative of the case of her being so." But then the second she came back again, and she cried again. So
I'm
that's
telling you,
the
man,
narrative that
people don't understand that in these courtrooms with these lawyers, defense attorneys, they have to strategize. So not for
Absolutely. I
one
mean,
second,
especially when there's a case like this, when
Right.
it's like open and shut, but you have to do something, like your life
emotion.
is on the line.
And people don't understand that white women know this. Like if I cry, if I get emotional, they can believe me. And people don't understand that has worked for centuries.
And so she walked into this man's apartment and she did not only
Sexy
just
at
shoot
that.
him, she shot him
Yeah.
and didn't save him right away. She didn't do, like she said she did a little bit of it. She did
Man.
a little bit of Heimlich, but I don't know what a little bit of Heimlich is. She didn't.
After you shot
her
somebody,
immediate response
there's
was not
blood
to,
everywhere.
so that goes to her mind frame, not only about her sex thing, but her seeing a black man and feeling so threatened by him that she felt like he was gonna kill her.
I got
That
to
speaks to
sit
her
it down.
mindset. She's a cop. And then she had the audacity to say, "No police officer ever wants to kill an innocent person." She actually literally said that. So
That goes back
that
to our
just,
first topic with police brutality.
so
We're not thinking that as well.
I'm over
Yeah.
it. I
And
mean, it's just, it goes back to all that we've always said, and like we always say, connect the dots, everything is everything, everything goes back to the politics, everything goes back to who you vote for, everything goes back to the judges you elect, because now this innocent man is dead, his family has no...
Beyond innocent.
So she did get fired from the Dallas Police Department. I don't care if he had crack. Like, it was his department, he was minding his damn business.
Yeah. But it just shows you again, when it deals with us, they try to find any loopholes to manipulate and exploit that and say, well, he was smoking weed, or he did this, he did that.
Okay, but he was sitting there, he just
What does that have to do?
Wisdom teeth pulled.
So he's probably trying to take the pain away.
He was eating ice cream. He had on his earbuds.
Why? He had on his earbuds.
Because they showed the murder scene,
That's
and
scary.
it showed his earbuds, one here, and blood right here. So what's that telling you? He wasn't even paying attention.
Kim, that is beyond minding your business. You playing music and watching videos inside your crib, sitting down.
Out of your business.
Like, he's in his own world, for real. And you see somebody break inside your house. That's deep, man. So next week, I most definitely look forward to talking about that, too. And I know my guests will be able to give some insight on that as well.
So hopefully by the, I hope the trial will be over soon so we can talk about it, whatever the outcome is.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was it for me.
Yeah. Subscribe to the newspaper.
Subscribe to the newspaper, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I'm about to go turn up.
Yeah.
Because Sunday is my party day.
That's it.
That's when
Kim gonna find a man out here in these streets, man. It's gonna happen. The NFL, man. Feel me?
No.
So, but yeah.
All right, y'all. We will check back next week, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.